I was chosen for Patriot 25, is down in Savannah, Georgia, and it consisted of guardsmen from all over the country coming for a DOMOPS exercise, and then there were many different other entities that joined the operation, which simulated a massive natural disaster, and this year it was focused on an earthquake. It was absolutely wonderful working with the Chaplain Corps down at Patriot 25. It consisted of 5 RST teams. It was the most unique training facility I've ever seen, but it was something right out of Hollywood. In order to simulate the earthquake, they actually had buildings that had been, demolished, so to speak, by an earthquake. They had subway systems, schools, banks, and then, of course, the headquarter center in which people were kind of coming in and out of. From the very onset of the first day of the exercise, it was all pandemonium. They were choppering in by those Chinook helicopters, and it became one of the most real immersion events I've ever been in my life. I mean, screaming for, military help. The police, one truck was actually stormed by them. It was attacked. They had to set up a security perimeter around it. Being within that operation and providing, chaplain care, not only to those who had been injured, but those who were playing the part of the loved ones who were, clearly severely affected by it. And then, within the operation itself, being directed by other officers to take my RST team into crowd control, working people who were, having nervous breakdowns because of the stress that they were under, and providing that, religious support care. It would go from one situation and sort of operation to the next. So initially it was a building that had fallen. We were clearing people out, providing what we were providing, getting them off in the medevac helicopters. Then we were, via radio told to move to a different place, and it was, a step more intense. It was, something like a subway system that had collapsed. Providing that same care for these people now that we're in a much greater state of duress. One thing that was really enlightening for me, especially with people who were maybe newly trained, that didn't have the experience of some of the people that had been in the garden for a long time. Even though it was a simulation, like how quickly even those who are, providing that life-saving, support suddenly were having breakdowns themselves. And being able to pull those airmen out of there with my RST team, provide the care that they needed, and get them back into the fight. And that really led into the third end of it. And then they had a section where they could flood an entire area of the town. And now we're joining 2 our other RST teams, and we're into the flood evacuation. Well, we can't even get into the houses. And again, the actors, but the civilians, they had lost everything. Now we have helicopter evacuation off of roofs, people that were pulling out of water, and just trying to get a handle on, how we're going to help these folks, and providing that spiritual pastoral care to someone who's just lost everything. It was such an awesome experience in such a really immersive, real environment that I walked away from it, just really feeling that I've been trained to, if it ever was real, to provide what I would be able to provide, and, to be the chaplain that I need to be. Just such a blessing, such a learning process, and, just such a gift.